These are the most disturbing torture methods ever used by Mexican cartels. The face football. They opened the bag and found something no human should ever see. Cartels have done some truly sickening things, but this wasn't just murder, this was brutality. In January 2010, in the city of Los Mochis, Sinaloa, authorities made a discovery so disturbing that it shocked even seasoned cartel investigators. Police found a plastic bag on the street. Inside, a body. It was the mutilated corpse of Hugo Hernandez. His torso and limbs were found stuffed into different bags. But that wasn't the worst part. His face had been skinned and stitched onto a football. The cartel precisely carved his skin and attached it to the ball, using it as a twisted warning to their enemies. Next to the bag, a handwritten cartel message read, "Happy New Year. This will happen to those who challenge us." Hugo Hernandez had been kidnapped a week earlier in Sonora, allegedly for reasons tied to cartel disputes. His death was meant as a public display of brutality, a message of pure fear. This was a game of terror, stitched into leather. But if stitching a face onto a football made you sick, wait until you hear what they do with a barrel of gasoline and a human body. The stew. The fire doesn't kill you at first. That's what makes it useful to the cartel. This is el guiso, also known as the stew. This execution method was made famous by Los Zetas, which is one of the most violent cartels to ever exist. The process is simple and horrifying. The victim is tied up and forced into a metal barrel. Gasoline, diesel, anything that burns is dumped on top of you. Then, fire. At first, it burns your hair, your clothes. Then your skin bubbles and blackens. Your nerves scream. The real nightmare is that the human body can endure the heat for minutes before finally giving in to shock or suffocation. By the time it's over, there's almost nothing left. No fingerprints, no teeth, no body to recover, just a pile of ashes. Narco Mummies. When police opened the grave, they thought they'd found ancient corpses. They were wrong. Not all cartel victims are burned. Some are dried, alive. You've heard of mummies in Egypt, but have you heard of narco mummies? This gruesome, lesser-known cartel torture method turns living people into husks of dry skin and bones. How? Through brutal dehydration. Victims are locked in airtight containers or buried alive. Some are left in the sun for days. The body dehydrates, flesh shrinks, organs collapse, skin tightens, leaving bodies that look hundreds of years old. Police have found multiple cartel burial sites filled with these narco mummies. They died slowly, forgotten, alone, mummified by time, preserved by torture. The mummies died in silence. The next victims, they're made to scream and stay alive for all of it. Skinning victims alive. The first cut doesn't kill you. It just wakes up your nerves for what comes next. You're tied to a chair. A masked man stands over you. He's not asking questions. He's just smiling. Cartels don't just kill people, they break them. Skinning victims alive is one of the most excruciating, drawn-out execution methods. It's not just torture, it's entertainment for them. And the horror? Victims don't die right away. They experience every cut, feel every slice. The human body can tolerate severe damage to the skin, meaning victims remain conscious for most of the process. Cartels love to record these executions to instill terror in their enemies. They even taunt victims during the process, telling them, "You'll live longer if you don't scream." The chainsaw execution. Cartels love efficiency. Why waste time when you can make an instant nightmare? Meet the chainsaw execution. This method, made infamous by Los Zetas, is fast, messy, and terrifying beyond belief. The roaring engine of the chainsaw drowns out the victim's screams, and a single swing can decapitate in seconds, or even worse, leave someone barely clinging to life. The psychological impact is insane. Your friend is first. You watch him get sliced apart before it's your turn. Cartels often film these executions and upload them as a warning to rivals. And the worst part, they sometimes let the victims choose machete or chainsaw. You'd think the worst death is loud, but the cartel's most efficient kill? You won't even hear it coming. The ice pick. This is the cartel's cleanest kill, and maybe the coldest. Cartels don't always go for loud, messy executions. Sometimes they prefer silent, surgical, and absolutely terrifying. Enter the ice pick to the ear. It's typically used something like this. This brutally simple method is favored by cartel hitmen, or sicarios, because it leaves almost no mess. It kills instantly and it's completely silent. The ice pick pierces straight through eardrum and into the brain. Instant death. There's no time to scream or struggle. It's so fast that victims sometimes stay upright for several seconds before collapsing. Efficient, clean, invisible, just the way sicarios like it. A silent death is clean. But the next cartel message? It hangs from bridges, drenched in blood and terror. The Colombian Necktie. Cartels don't just kill people, they turn deaths into a horror show. Enter the Colombian Necktie. This method was originally used by Colombian cartels in the 1980s, but Mexican cartels took it to a whole new level. What about the process? It's straight out of a nightmare. The victim's throat is sliced open deep enough to sever the windpipe, but not enough to kill instantly. Then their own tongue is pulled through the open wound and left hanging down their chest. The result, a grotesque display of horror. Why do cartels do this? When people see something this gruesome, they never forget it. The image stays burnt into their minds, spreading fear like wildfire. A Colombian necktie isn't just brutal, it's designed to paralyze entire communities. The second people see it, they know exactly who's in control. This execution is reserved for snitches and informants. It's a twisted way of saying, speak against us and we'll make sure you never speak again. Cartels didn't just leave these bodies on the street, they would hang them from bridges or place them outside police stations. The message was clear. We own this city. Why do cartels do this? It's not just about power, it's about absolute control. They don't just kill, they create horror stories that last forever. And that's why even the police end up fearing them. Like and subscribe or you will get stewed.